Hello, welcome. My name is Sean, also known as The Beast, and this is going to be a social media inspired listening video thing. However, before any of that good stuff, a massive shout out to all the amazing members of the VC that made it up to Scotland for the Dead of Winter Festival, superbly organised by the two Kens out of Brainbath. 11 bands, £15 a ticket, absolutely superb. We only missed the one band, unfortunately, because we had to go and get some food because it was a long day. But yeah, it was absolutely incredible, and if hopefully they'll do it again, it'll become a more regular thing. We'll get more and more tickets and maybe a bigger venue. But it was absolutely phenomenal. So massive shout out to all the bands, all the people I met, people that came up to me and introduced themselves. I never knew them, but they either see my face on here or they see me on social media. So yeah. Anyway, on to the record part of it. Obviously, the reason I do YouTube is because I'm hoping to share some of the things that I maybe find with people like yourselves that are watching it and think, oh yeah, we'll give that one a go. So I thought, just to prove that it does work, these 4 records I'm going to show today are all being inspired by people from social media. 3 of the guys off YouTube and a gentleman off Instagram, Facebook, etc. So without further ado, here we go. First up is Torture Tomb. It's their self-titled EP that came out last year. It is Blackened death metal, but I would say the music is predominantly death metal. The only Blackened sort of influence is there's 2 singers, and one of the gentlemen has a very sort of a descriptive, as you would describe a black metal voice. That's on here. This is 5 tracks, very thick and heavy and violent, aggressive as you would expect. The riffs are the type of riffs that they're just constantly chugging away, and you can't see. I'm not even listening to it and I'm still doing it now. Yeah, I mean the artwork is just absolutely superb. Again, I should have looked to see who did the artwork. Did I say it was out on? It was out on between Dawnbreed Records and Transylvanian Recordings. Obviously, notes down there because I'm old and I forget things. But yeah, this is an absolutely superb. Again, it's not one of those ones where they're trying to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. Let's see what's inside. I believe this was just on. Oh no, it's a purple colour actually. Works quite well. No inlay card in this one, unfortunately. But yeah, it was Anthony over at Metal Miners who first put me onto this one. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link to Anthony's channel. I'm sure you all know him anyways. His knowledge is ridiculous. And yeah, if you're in the mood for some Blackened death metal from America, you wouldn't go far wrong with this one, to be fair. Really good album. EP, sorry. Next up, and going back quite a long way, is the debut release from Sacrilege, and it is called Behind the Realms of Madness. Now this is the Sacrilege that were from Birmingham in the UK originally. This came out in 1985 on Children of the Revolution. This is actually the 2022 Back on Black reissue. This is a mix of punk. I would say it's mostly a thrash album, really, but it has got that old school type of DIY punk ethos. Nice black vinyl. Inside we get, yeah, there's the obligatory collage live shots from Leeds and London, I believe. Nothing on the back of it for some strange reason. But yeah, this is a female fronted vocalist. It's managed to capture the 80s sound on the production. You'd say almost possibly too much like treble in the sound. It's quite thin, but it's the riffs are, it's got that sort of the punk rock groove type thing, and then like with thrash overlay on the top of it. It's a really, I mean, it's 1985 in a nutshell, to be fair. It's a proper like throwback to all them years when we still had hair and not as many chins. But yeah, really good album. Now this was shown recently by a certain Mr. Johnny Mack from Rock and Metal Plus, one of the amazing gentlemen I was privileged to spend the weekend with up in Glasgow at the Dead of Winter Festival. So yeah, if you're feeling nostalgic for some 80s punk thrash, not really crossover as such, but yeah, give it a go. Really good. Next up is something that is completely new to my listening. I don't own anything remotely similar to it, or not really. It's a very glossy cover, so it might glare out. I'll try not to. The band are called Lucid Sins. The album is called Dancing in the Dark. It came out in 2023. The gentleman from Scotland, and it is classed as occult psychedelia, and that is straight from them because that's the sticker they actually put on the front of their own album. It came out on Totem Cat Records. Now this starts off with a very nice guitar like interlude almost, or beginning, and then all of a sudden you just get on this almost late 60s early 70s psychedelic hippie type jaunt journey. But when you listen to lovely clean vocals, it's quite a happy sounding album. But when you listen to the lyrics, the 10 songs that are on here, I'll guess, and it is only a guess, that they're based on Scottish folklore because that's where these gentlemen are from. And it's very gloomy, and you know, a nice walk into the forest with your family and you end up being sacrificed to some deity that's not as nice as you first thought he was. Is this a coloured vinyl? Yeah, it is. It's limited on a spinner type vinyl. Their words, not mine. And the inner sleeve, I believe, has the two gentlemen there. That picture pretty much describes the music perfectly. The lyrics on the back, and the lyrics actually, they make the music, I know it sounds a stupid thing to say, but they make the music even better, because when if you're just listening to it and not reading the music, you're probably thinking, you know, a bit cheerful and happy, but the lyrics aren't so cheerful and happy. They definitely tell a story, and I mean the artwork again, super. I'll have to start making note of these artists because I keep forgetting them. That's not very good of me. But yeah, if you're into the mood for something different, then I would definitely check this out. Now I saw this on Kendo, who is the guitarist out of Brainbath and the owner of Macho Records, and pretty much just an all-round hell of a dude. Absolutely awesome. He was there at the weekend. Brainbath were absolutely ridiculous, as were all the bands, but he was there with his aviators on, looking cooler than anybody else in the building. So yeah, if you get the chance, to open your ears to something slightly different, then I reckon you won't go far wrong with Lucid Sins. Now the last up for this little update is one that I've seen a lot of people mention. It is Farah, and the album is called American Gothic. Came out in 2023. It's classed as Blackened folk metal. I think Blackened Western metal would have been a better, judgment for it. But in USA it came out on Century Media. Now, if somebody said to me, we'll take some country music, we'll take some black metal, we'll stick them together and you'll absolutely love the album, I think they'd have been drinking more than we were in Scotland at the weekend. However, somebody's taken some country style music, somebody's taken some black metal, stuck them together and created an absolute masterpiece. Now, the strangest thing for me about this is you can be quite intently listening to the slide guitars and the picking the acoustic guitars and the sort of the things that you would associate with country music, but at the same time the metal that is coming out of this is absolutely stupendous. It's the country type music and tunes actually make the metal part of it more metal, if that makes sense. It's superb. The riffs in some of the riffs in this are just ridiculous. The musicianship is superb. The vocals are the black metal vocals, but they're not as harsh as you may expect. So you can actually hear and understand every word he's saying. I think we've got the lyrics in the old-fashioned style, like the old Western type newspaper style, which I think is quite a clever touch. And I've seen this it's been in a couple of people's end of year list. It's on very shiny silver wax, which I'm not a massive fan of, to be fair, but hey ho. But yeah, it's the reason I finally decided to bite the bullet was Chris from Green Saber showed it in his end of year list. I know Johnny Mac showed it. I think Liam, the Death Doom Metalhead, who was also in Scotland at the weekend in his purple shirt. I think they all mentioned it, but yeah, I can see why now. And again, if I'd took a chance earlier last year, it would have definitely ended up on my end of year list. It's fantastic. It's one of those albums that every time you listen to it, you sort of hear something new, something slightly different, maybe something that you didn't pick up on, because it's an easy album to get lost in. If you train your ears just to the metal sections of it, then you're sort of missing out on the country side of it as it is, and vice versa. If you're concentrating or focusing on the sort of the country elements of it, then you miss on some of the metal. But it's a really good album, solid album. So yeah, if like me you neglected to give it a shout, give it a listen. Even Gormless, still drunk from Scotland, then yeah, it's definitely worth listening to. Superb release. Well, it's got me intrigued enough to think, yeah, I need to see what else they've done, because I'm assuming it's going to be of a similar vein. So yeah, so that's this little mini update and shout out for the gentleman that showed me the way onto these. I've just before I started to film this video, I've actually reached the magical 200 subscribers, which is, for me, it's unbelievable. I've been doing this since October and I've had nothing but fun and giggles. The initial nerves were sort of pushed aside now, and although I still make the occasional, I was going to say I still make the occasional mistake. It might be better saying I make the occasional bit right and the rest is all just mistakes. But anyway, I'm waffling. Thank you as always to everybody that watches this, to anybody that makes any type of comment or gives it a like or anything like that. It's so appreciated. And say, if you get the chance to see some of the videos that some of the guys have done from the Dead of Winter Festival, then absolutely screamer of a weekend. And again, massive shout out to Ken out of Brainbath for organising such a fantastic event. In the staff as well in Ivory Blacks in Glasgow, they were superb, first rate. They were coming round cleaning in between, you know, they weren't, there was no aggressions, no aggro, apart from in the pit where it was supposed to be. For me, if every festival was run like that, and it wasn't about this, and it was all about the music, then the world would be a better place. Because the underground death metal scene in the UK is superb. In Scotland, it's ridiculous. I mean, the first band on, I think the oldest kid in the band was only 16. Absolutely superb. Brilliant day. Hopefully they'll do it again next year, and hopefully there'll be people that couldn't make it this year will be able to get her up there. Anyway, on that note, say a massive thank you if you stuck with this idiot waffling on again, and hopefully see you really soon again. Cheers.